So it's Super Bowl week, it's Jabari Greer's birthday. What better time to chat it up with the legend, the Super Bowl champion, Jabari Greer. Whodat, everybody, SaintJohnButler here, and I know I say it every time, but Jabari Greer is just another one of those guys that gave me a ton in the interview I did with him, so I know you're really going to enjoy this one as well. And before we jump into it, if you want to like the video, that would be fantastic. And if you want to subscribe, the button's down in the corner. If you don't want to subscribe, do not press that little red button down there. All right, let's go. This video is brought to you by SeatGeek.com. Use promo code JohnButler at checkout. Save yourself 20 bucks. Let's get back to the video. Now, with all the different coaches and players that he met along the way, I wanted to know who was the most influential person in ultimately getting him to the NFL. Here's his answer.
You know what? I'm going to say my older brother, my big brother.
Gotcha.
My big brother. Yes, my older brother, DeAndre, D-E-U-N-D-R-E, DeAndre Greer. My brother was, he was our star quarterback. He was our star quarterback. When I was a freshman, he was a senior. He was a star quarterback. Could have went to any school he chose, but because of grades and because of obviously decisions that he made, he was unable to go there, and he had to go to the University of Tennessee at Martin. But we were always competitive. We played sock basketball in our room. We played hallway football, these little games where we would literally just pummel each other, and we would always compete with each other. And I saw him have success, and I also saw him I saw success kind of leave the grasp of his hands. Like it was within his grasp, but he did not have the ability to take it to the next level. And so I saw that, and I decided that I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do something different. And credit to my brother that he was always there. He was always supportive of everything that I've done. Now, when I was a kid, I was a TV. I was weird. I mean, it wasn't weird. I was not your typical athlete. My brother was your typical athlete. He had a ball wherever he went. He wanted to play ball. He wanted to go outside. He wanted to do all this. I just wanted to sit in the house and watch Sesame Street all day long. That's all I wanted to do. I remember one time distinctly that my brother actually told on me because I didn't want to go outside and throw the football with him. He told my mama that I wanted to sit down and watch TV all day. And my mom, I remember it's like it was yesterday, my mom made me get up and go outside and throw the football with my brother. And I think that, even to this day, I wish that my brother would have had that opportunity in the NFL because I know that he would have been a dynamic player. But it doesn't happen. Things don't always happen like that. But I think that, our relationship, our competitive nature, our respect for each other, and his motivation, him seeing something in me that I didn't see in myself, I would say he's probably the most influential person in regards to my athletic career.
Now, Jabari had a very candid answer whenever I asked him the next question, which was, what was the toughest obstacle he had to face in ultimately making his way into the NFL?
Oh, I almost quit the team, man. I almost quit the University of Tennessee. I was a sophomore, and I had earned my very first opportunity to start at right corner. We had this young 4 or 5-star recruit named Jabari Davis, the same name, and obviously that was unique because I had went my whole life never knowing another Jabari. So we had a 5-star recruit named Jabari Davis out of Tucker, Georgia, playing full. He was a tailback, 220 pounds, fast, and he was a freshman. Jabari Davis gets the pitch left, and basically takes a toss all the way down the field. I see him, and I'm running after him, okay? I'm running after him, and I'm the last line of defense. I put my shoulder down. I see Jabari put his shoulder down, and next thing I know, I see nothing but blue sky and clouds. Now I go from looking at him to looking in the sky. He literally, and next thing I know, I hear woo, and next thing I know, he's in the end zone. He scored. So he ran over me and kept on going. And I realized, like at that time, after that, our middle linebacker, Eric Westmoreland, he brought us to the sideline and he started chewing me out. And I mean, I had just been run over, so I was thinking like, I don't want to hear this, man. Let's give me some space. He takes some Gatorade and just throws it in my face. Basically, just throws it in my face. Utterly disrespectful, but that's what happens on the sideline sometimes. People get into it. Emotions run high. Yeah. And I was truly humiliated twice, like back to back. I remember walking home with my sister. This was at the spring game, University of Tennessee spring game. She had come up there to go to school, and she was there. She had saw the whole thing. I remember walking back to my room and just crying, just saying that there's no way I can't do this. This is too much. And I was going to quit the team because I felt like I didn't have what it took to compete at that level against those type of athletes. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful and thankful that I did.
Now, between the answers he's given to us so far and the article I wrote about him, if you haven't figured out, Jabari Greer is a pretty family-oriented guy. So that being said, I wanted to ask him what it was like actually being a father while playing in the NFL.
Wow, John, that's a great question. So it was heartbreaking. It really was, because I was a single father. Me and their mother weren't together. So they lived in Nashville, or they were still in Knoxville with their mom, while I was in Buffalo playing. So I had all this outward success. You know, I had made the NFL. I had officially made it. I had arrived. But yet and still, I could not be the father that I wanted to be for these two children that were looking, you know, I couldn't tuck them in. I couldn't kiss them when I couldn't kiss them. I couldn't Band-Aids on their wounds when they fell. Like, I couldn't do those things because I was trying to make something, not only of myself, but for them. So that was a real struggle for me personally.
Gotcha.
Because I wanted to be more present. I wanted to be there. But thankfully, you know, my mom and stepfather, and I mean everybody in my family pitched in to make sure that they could come up to Buffalo. I remember so many times my mom and stepfather drove from Tennessee to Buffalo just to bring my kids up there to see their father. Or during the off season, I'm doing an off season. I would go back to Knoxville and be there with them. But just that, you know, just the fact that my family kind of huddled around us and made sure that my children and me had as stable of a relationship as that could be given those situations, given those circumstances. I'm internally grateful for. I'm really thankful for.
Here we are. We're almost at 500 subs. I really appreciate the support. I thank each and every one of you. Who dat to you. We'll see you on the next one.